Hey guys, Kai Draws here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I hope you decide to stick around, but yeah. Today I'm making a new Meet the Artist. I haven't made one in a little over a year now, so I decided that it was time to update that. One, I've changed, and two, my art and graphic design has changed a lot. Yeah, this is a Meet the Artist, so I figured let's meet me and talk about me. If you guys don't already know, I'm a 17-year-old artist. I grew up moving around the country because my dad's in the military, but I mainly grew up in Hawaii and Alaska because my dad spent more time in Hawaii, especially because, you know, we have more family there. So let me see how many times I moved. I went from Hawaii to Guam to Hawaii to South Carolina, back to Hawaii, then to Ketchikan, Alaska, and I'm in Juneau, Alaska. So that's 7 times I've moved. And it's about to be an 8th because I just got accepted to an art college in Oregon, and so I've never been to Oregon before. Actually, I don't even think I've driven through it, so this is gonna be my first time ever experiencing Oregon, and I'm really excited for it. I don't think I've ever really talked about like how I got introduced to art or like how I started drawing. I kind of just popped up 2 years ago out of the blue with my crappy attempt at an anime style. Believe it or not, growing up, I was not an artistic kid by any means. Like, the amount of creativity I had was 0. I would try drawing, and the most I could do is like those stick figures and those, you know, little box houses. It wasn't anything that was actually impressive. And it's not like I put the work into it either to become anything great. I just, if it was a class assignment, like, draw this fire truck, I drew a box with 4 wheels. So, yeah, I was not artistic. But when I got around 5th grade, this is when I'm in my 5th move, and I'm back in Hawaii. So I was living on the Hickam Air Force Base, and I was going to the elementary school there, and I started becoming interested in art because I was friends with a lot of people who really liked drawing, especially since, you know, we're all military kids. We all moved into the base. A lot of these kids, the reason why they started drawing is because in some places they just couldn't make friends. So, you know, what do you do to take up your time? You pick up a hobby, and some of them picked up art, and they were really good artists. I mean, not like exceptional, like, oh my gosh, child prodigy, but these guys, at least in my eyes, they were really good. Because around that time, I always thought, you kind of suck at drawing anything artistic, why even bother trying? So I never really looked into drawing myself, and it didn't upset me that I couldn't draw. Like, a lot of people, when I look online and they're like, I can't draw like this person, this sucks. Yeah, that sucks, but it's because that person put more practice than you into it. You just gotta catch up, put in your hours. But for me, it didn't upset me that I couldn't draw. I just accepted it. I was like, I'm not a creative type. It's never gonna happen. So, the end of my 6th grade year, I ended up moving to Ketchikan. Ketchikan was pretty cool, except for the fact I couldn't play outside. Everywhere else I had moved, I'd always been somewhere that I could play outside. In South Carolina, we were able to deal with the gators, the snakes, and the spiders. Like, with those kinds of things, you just stay away from them. They're not really fast moving on land, with the exception of some snakes. But in Alaska, it was different. We ended up moving into a house that was way outside of the town limits, and because of that, we were in like the sticks. We were in trees, and there's only like 3 other houses in our neighborhood, and you had a lot of animal activity. If we went outside to play, there was risk of, you know, bear attacks, wolves, and sometimes even deer. Those things can get aggressive, man. So, you know, me and my little brother at that time, we didn't really play outside, so we started gaming more. And this is around the time I met one of my best friends, and he got me hooked on Pokemon. Well, back hooked on Pokemon. I was playing the card games of it when I was younger, but he got me hooked on it again. And a lot of the kids that I was hanging out with, Zoe too, she's a really good Animal Jam artist. I absolutely love her. She was really artistic, and all these guys, they're into games and stuff. So I got into gaming too, a lot. And because of that, I also started learning about how games were made and the, like the effort and stuff that was put into it, and it really got me interested. But I didn't really start drawing yet. I did have a sketchbook. I had some watercolors, and I'm cooped up inside all day. I don't want to be gaming or doing homework 24/7. So I started picking up watercolors, and it's not like I did it all the time. I think I only did like maybe 1 to 2 paintings every month or two. It wasn't anything big, it wasn't anything great, but it was kind of just a relaxing way to have some fun and to put something on paper. The one thing that I really miss about Ketchikan is the sunsets and the flora. Like, it's one of the most beautiful towns I've ever visited. If you end up coming to Alaska for some reason, make sure to stop by Ketchikan and just go on one of the easy hikes. Like, the views that you're gonna see is incredible. So that inspired me actually to start, like, drawing some different types of sunsets and sceneries and stuff. And a lot of my early sketches were of flowers and stuff. And then Rise of the Guardians, around that time, I was really big on that, and so I actually started looking it up. I'm like, wow, people make fan art. I want to make fan art. So I started, sketching that every once in a while. I think I only did like two or three sketches of like baby tooth, and then I moved on from that. And I didn't really like, draw. It was every once in a while I'd doodle, and then I'd be like, yeah, that looks bad. And then I'd close my sketchbook and I'd put it away. And the reason it looked bad is because I was, when you're beginning and you don't know things, I was copying other artists. And that's actually, I think, what got my foundation for holding a pencil and stuff, is I was just copying what other people did. Did I ever post it? No. Did I end up throwing it away? Yes. I, for the life of me, cannot find any of those sketches. Trust me, I've tried. So, yeah, Ketchikan was pretty boring, not gonna lie. The only thing interesting was drama and stuff, but we're not gonna get into that because that's a story for another day. So fast forward through my middle school and freshman year, and we get to my sophomore year. This is when we moved to Juneau. It's Christmas of 2016, and for the past couple months I was nonstop watching an anime artist named Hayana Natsu, and her art was really inspiring to me. And it was also around the time I started learning more about the process for game designs, because I started getting into the Pokemon roleplay community on Tumblr. I'm not proud of that. For a couple months, and I was also Overwatch really started to pique my interest, so I started looking more into that. And honestly, it never occurred to me that people actually drew characters and made these designs. Like, it never sparked in my head that there was work and effort, like a lot of effort that went into some of this stuff. So I was looking at this, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Especially the anime art. I wasn't really too focused on the gaming art yet, but especially the anime art. I was like, I really want to do this. And Zoe, I found out she had a graphics tablet, and that's how she was doing all her speed paints, because I didn't know that anyone could do digital art. I didn't know that just anyone could pick up a pencil and teach themselves how to draw. I thought that you had to go to art classes in school for all that. I didn't realize that if you just put effort into it, that you can do amazing things. So I started following different artists, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm self-taught, like Siren, or oh, I dropped out of art school, like Lord Grizz. I would never have guessed that those two artists had not gone to art school. They're just so amazing. Like, the amount of work that they put in to get to where they are, it's incredible. So I asked my mom if I could get a graphics tablet, and they got me my first tablet, and it was the Wacom Intuos Draw, which is a small thing. I used to love it, but now that I have my 13-inch Cintiq, I'm like, you suck. But yeah, it was actually really good to start out on, and it really got me interested in drawing. And that's the point that I say that my artistic journey really started. Because, like, before, I was doing, like, doodles for classwork that I had to do, or if I was bored because I couldn't play outside, I'd paint or something. But now, I found myself just, like, sitting at my computer drawing maybe 1 to 3 hours a day. And that 1 to 3 hours wasn't just, like, doodle, doodle, doodle. It was looking up YouTube videos and practicing anatomy, practicing different elements of drawing, getting critique from my friends on Discord who are also artists, and just learning how I could do better. And so that 1 to 3 hours a day over the past 2 years has turned into 8+ hours a day. I actually wake up at 5:30 almost every morning before school so I can draw. I stop drawing at around 8, I take a shower, I eat something, and then I get back to drawing the final 30 minutes before I have to leave for school, because our school starts at 9:15. And then after school, if I have like maybe 1 to 2 hours, I'll hang out with my friends or I'll do my after school activities, and then I'll go home. I'll try to do just cram as much homework as I can, and maybe draw from like 6 to 10, depending on when I get home and depending on how much time I have. A lot of people are like, Kylie, how's your grades? They're not good because I like drawing more than I like doing homework. But I get my work done, I'm passing my classes, I'm gonna graduate this year, get off my back. So yeah, I started drawing when I was 15, my sophomore year, and I'm now 17 years old. I'm about to graduate high school. And you know, throughout this time, I've had many artists that inspire me. Hayana Natsu is my first one. Her anime art is absolutely amazing. Scott Campbell, one of my uncles, got me some of his drawing books and some of his comic books that, you know, like his cover art, and they are amazing. I'm sorry. And recently, Nova Yin, also known as Koi Koi Nine Cat on Instagram, I met her through Ross Draws' server. She's another one of our moderators, and she's helped me a lot. Ross Draws is honestly my absolute favorite artist of all time. I adore his art. And just his attitude about everything in general. He's awesome. And Arnold Sang, who is the concept artist for Overwatch. It was actually Overwatch that got me looking into how concept art was made and how all that stuff worked, and it got me really interested. And that's why I decided, now that, you know, I'm going off to college, I decided that in the future I would really like to become a concept artist for video games or maybe even movies. I don't really care. I just want to make stuff. Maybe even do illustrations one day. Like I said, I don't care. I just want to have some fun. A lot of people have asked me, you know, how have I gotten, I don't want to sound cocky here, but how have I gotten to the skill that I am at with 2 years of drawing? And the only answer I have to that is hard work and dedication. Like I said, I'm drawing 8+ hours every day. A lot of people don't really do that, or if they do, they're not practicing right. One thing that my band teacher always told me, and I like to compare music to drawing because they're both art forms, and if you want the results, you kind of have to do the same things. But one thing that my band teacher told me was that you can practice something wrong every day, but the fact of the matter is you're practicing it wrong, so it's never going to come out right. You need to work to improve it. So when you look at your drawing, you just finished something and you're like, I really like that. That's good. Take a couple minutes to be proud of it, but then really look at it and try to analyze, you know, what can I do better? What needs work? Like for me, I hate feet. So I've been drawing feet. I hate feet. The other most important thing is not just self-criticism, but giving your art to your friends, to your family members. For me, I give my art to my mom and I'm like, how does this look? Because I love my mother dearly, but she is my worst, yet my best critic. She is so good at telling me what I'm doing wrong. And I don't mean that in a bad way. She just, you know, kind of points out things that I can do better. And I appreciate that. I also have friends on, you know, Discord. I have friends on Instagram that I can be like, hey, what do you think about this? And they can be like, your hands suck. And I can be like, you're right. You know, it's all about looking for ways to improve yourself. And once you have that information, like, oh, your anatomy is kind of off, or you could probably do better with the values here, look up YouTube videos for how you can study it, or just grab a real life picture and do a life study. I can't tell you, I know a lot of you guys want to be cartoon artists and stuff, and that's great, but I'm telling you, if you do real life studies and then apply it to your cartoon art, it makes a huge difference. Like this chibi that I just made, if you look at my old chibis, they suck. And it's because I didn't have a basic grasp of like color theory and stuff. Now I can actually kind of color. That's really all it is. It's hard work and looking for ways to improve yourself, and then acting on those ways to improve yourself. That's the 3 things that will get you so far in such a short amount of time. I know that not everyone can draw 8 hours a day. I'll admit I'm kind of nuts, but if you like just set aside, maybe like I said, 1 to 3 hours a day and then build yourself up. You don't need to start big. You can start small and then reach out. That's the amazing thing about art, is that you start kind of crappy, and then the more you practice, the better you get, and it it's so cool. I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent there, but I honestly love art because anyone can do it, no matter how not creative you think you are. You can probably pick up a pencil and just draw for an hour a day and you'll see that improvement. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I had a lot of fun making it and drawing myself again. And make sure to check out my shop in the description below. I have some prints and stickers up for sale right now. Also, my commissions are open if you guys are interested in that. I might be opening chibi commissions pretty soon. So I want to know what you guys think, especially after this video. Do you guys think I should start drawing chibis more? And if you guys do think I should, what characters do you want to see? Because I might start doing a couple more of them. They're pretty fun to do. I hope you guys have an awesome week. Stay artsy.